I just almost died. Hi, I'm Anna. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to do the Valentine's Day Sweetheart book tag. Yes, I know this was not the video you planned to see from me today, but this is the video you are going to get. I know I promised to do the review for the next Leigh Bardugo book, but I'm currently halfway done. So yeah, I decided instead of not having a video this week, I was just going to film a quick book tag, and that would be a lot easier than just like rushing to finish this and giving like a half-ass review type thing. So I decided instead of that, I'm going to be doing this book tag, especially since tomorrow as of when you're seeing this is Valentine's Day, and yesterday as of when you're seeing this, it was actually the Chinese New Year. So thus I'm in red kind of for Valentine's Day, but I'm also in red because of the Chinese New Year. So 春节快乐. Happy Chinese New Year. This tag was originally created by Pampered Pages. I will link her channel down in the description. Number 1, what is your favorite Valentine's Day themed candy? I don't really have that many candies that I eat a lot. I love just things that are marketed as hearts. So they'll just be like a typical type candy, but they're shaped in a heart. Number 2, do you enjoy reading romance? For me, romance is really hit or miss. I will say several of my favorite books of all time, like North and South by Elizabeth Gaskell, or Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. They are both categorized as romance, or I kind of think of them as romance. But when it comes to more modern romance, it's very hit or miss for me. Number 3, do you tend to read romance books throughout the Valentine season? No, I don't really. I don't go out of my way. I will say Valentine's Day to me is not as big as Christmas and Halloween, so I'm not like I really want to read horror and like scary stuff for Halloween and like Christmassy, cozy themed stuff for Christmas. I'm not the same way when it comes to Valentine's Day. Like, I don't hate it, but I don't like love it. It's not a big holiday for me. Number 4, your fictional sweetheart shows up on your doorstep with a Valentine's Day gift. What is it? A carton of old books. I'm pretty sure that would be like my ideal gift, like the really old books, like think early 20th century, maybe late 19th century type books. So books that are like 100 years old. And if my fictional like sweetheart or whatever showed up at my door, or my real boyfriend, if he did that, I would be like, oh, I just love old books. Number 5, how many romance books do you have that are written by the same author? I don't own many or any really romance books. I would say the only one that I probably own more of is Jane Austen, because I do have on my Kindle her complete collection, and I own like several of her books standing alone. So I would probably say her because she has 6 books? I don't remember, but yeah, she's like 5 or 6 books. So probably her because I don't own many romance books. Number 6, what is a romance book that made you cry? I'm pretty sure no like straight up romance book has made me cry, but the one book that I would argue has some romance is The Bitter Tea of General Yen by Grace Zaring Stone. So this book is set in China. It's a classic book. My copy is very old, but it pretty much finds this missionary's fiance. She travels to China to meet with her fiance. She ends up getting caught up with revolutionaries, a conflict between the nationalist government and the communist government. This is during a time before like Mao and everything like that. Well, Mao was around, but he was very young and just starting out. And she's rescued by General Yan, this kind of traditional idealist. So he is all about like traditional understanding of philosophy and things like that. And he doesn't like more modernist stuff. So it's fascinating to see them debate. And while I wouldn't say this is straight up a romance, because there's never actually a official romance that develops between General Yen and the main character, Megan. Though I'm pretty sure no one's ever read this, because in order to get this copy, I had to pay like 30 bucks on eBay, because there's very few copies of this around. It's really hard to get your hands on a copy. When I originally read it from the library, it was like this really old copy. So it's like, no one's going to care if I spoil this, but at the end of this book, she ends up going back to, I guess, the white missionaries, and he ends up getting killed. And I won't go into details, but it's pretty sad, especially since you've kind of grown to really care about him throughout the book, and then he dies in the end. Number 7. If you could choose any place, fictional or real, to escape to for a perfect Valentine's date, where would it be? For me, I talked to my boyfriend about this, and we were like, what would we pick? And we were like, most of the fictional books we read are super horrible places, like fantasy worlds, where why would you want to go into that world? It's super dangerous. So we both decided that a real place was probably more feasible, like our dream thing. And yes, I decided that my ideal date would probably be just like a cozy winter cabin up north in either like North America or Canada, just like really cozy. You're snowed in, you get to have like hot chocolate, and just sounds amazing. Number 8, distance makes your heart grow fonder. What anticipated book list do you know in your heart that you will love? I'm going to go with Beyond Order by Jordan Peterson. Here, I'll get his first book out. This is kind of a self-help book, but it's one of the few self-help books that I actually think is good, because I've read a few self-help books and usually they're really bad or really general, whereas this is very simple, basic rules. Like one of them I'm pretty sure is make your bed. But then he goes into the like psychology of why this works type thing. And if you didn't know Jordan Peterson, he's kind of a controversial figure. I won't get into more of his controversial stuff, but his book is amazing. And I know that everything I've read by him, everything I've seen by him, I've listened to some of his lectures when he taught in Toronto in college, and it really makes you think. So I know for sure that I will love that book. I've even already pre-ordered it, and I'm not the type of person who pre-orders anything. Number 9, do you have any favorite love-themed quotes from books you've read? For me, I don't really get into like the whole quotes. I tried to keep a collection, like a notebook of like quotes just in general, but I've never been able to keep it. But the 2 that I love the most, because they're from like older books, one is from Emma by Jane Austen, and it goes something like, and I'm sure I'm going to butcher both of these quotes, but it goes something like, if I loved you less, I may be able to talk about it more. And Knightley says it to Emma near the end of the book, and I just love that quote because it's true. You don't show love by just like talking pretty words. It's all about showing that you care. And I think that's why Knightley remains to this day possibly my favorite male lead. I'm conflicted about Emma. Like, she's kind of a spoiled brat through most of the book. I don't think she's a horrible person, but Knightley is just amazing. The second book is from Shakespeare's Hamlet. Doubt that the stars are fire. Doubt that the sun doth move his aids. Doubt truth to be a liar, but never doubt I love. And I love that. Number 10, the last question. All's fair in love and war. Do you have more books with red or pink spines? We're just gonna actually see that. I'm gonna like take you over to that. I'm pretty sure I have red spines more. But let's see. It's probably not centered the same way, but yeah, definitely more red spines. A lot more red. I don't have many like pink books, to be honest. There is the Valentine's Day Sweetheart tag. Thank you so much for watching. I know this is kind of a light, fun video, but you need to do those once in a while, and I will be back with my full review of Siege and Storm next week, so stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching. Would you answer any of these different? I'd love to know your thoughts down in the comments. Subscribe to my channel, like, hit the bell notification to be notified when I post. I post every Saturday at 6 p.m. and have a great week. Bye!